Hey, welcome to the Porch Bois podcast. I am your magnificent, crippled host, John, alongside these not magnificent, able bodied gentlemen. We got Midget B and Seawall. How you
Yeah,
guys
and
doing?
and and we're here tonight to catch you all up on all of that crap that John was talking about. All those goings on and happenings. Maybe catch you up on a few things that you may have heard of, and get our opinions to you. We'll start very shortly after we cover Seawall's recent happenings. That John, yes, indeed, is crippled and disabled and stuff. So we'll get to that in a few moments. I'm sure that's one of the things with which you need to catch up to us on. So, Seawall, would you care to enlighten us?
On what's going on in my life? Just work,
Oh,
work, and
yeah,
more work.
Except for tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah. Tomorrow, going to my folks' place, doing a favor for my dad, and then gonna go to lunch with my mom.
That's right, dude. All in observance of our glorious holiday, Juneteenth.
Well,
Right.
I've got the day off. I don't care. I'm just like day off. I don't care what caused
Yeah.
it.
Going to observe and celebrate Juneteenth.
I'm
Going
sure
to
he
a cookout
is.
and everything.
I read an AP article that we won't be sharing today. That it's like, what if you're not black? How could you celebrate Juneteenth? Well, an expert, of course, had to chime in and say, well, you can read and educate yourself and get better. You can be better. You can, be not white, basically.
Hey, crazy idea. Why not? Why not blacks stop murdering each other first and murdering white people?
Well, that's racist. So there you
That
go.
is racist. If we can't genocide white people, that's racism. That's oppression. That's systemacy working. It's systematicness on you. It's internalized. You should be careful. We're going to speak more about that shortly, aren't we?
I believe
Do
so.
we have our meme just kind of sitting in the background as
Oh, I can bring it up now.
opening meme of the day as we talk
Opening
and
meme of the day.
bullshit together?
Let me temporarily drop our foreground so people can see it in its full glory. There we go.
Thank you, sir.
2001. USA is the Great Satan. Lol. Okay. USA 2023. USA is the Great Satan.
Yeah. So anyway, as you were saying, Seawall, you were going to observe the glorious holiday upcoming, weren't you?
I'm just gonna use it as a day off to do some yard work for my dad.
Well, that's
help my
good.
dad.
Yeah, absolutely. You should help your family and community. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, my dad's out of town, so he can't do it himself. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for him, as
Well, don't give too much information.
Yeah.
Get your dad's house robbed while he's gone. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just live that way.
Don't worry, my folks live on a private community with an armed guard at the entrance.
I'm sorry, you guys. Is my audio shit this evening?
No, it's fine.
You got a lot of background noise, but that's about it.
Yeah,
I
just
see.
some background
It's
noise.
probably
I mean,
there.
there's some there's
Fuzz.
some kind of
It's fuzz. You get some
Static,
fuzz. Yeah, fuzz in the
yeah,
background.
buzz and cats going on.
Meows. Yes,
And
there's
wives.
lots of meowing.
Yeah, we hear pretty much everything that's going on in your living room right now.
Oh, I see. That's
It's
too
quite a
bad.
bit. It
It's
seems.
not a very directional microphone. I apologize. No, I don't have a basement studio.
That is unfortunate. You should invest in one of those.
Yeah. I'm not a quarter pounder.
Right.
Yep. So, well,
Speaking of, shall we catch up our audience on what you meant by implying that you had disabilities and stuff?
Yes. Yeah. I've crippled myself.
Indeed. I guess you did do it to yourself.
I believe
Right?
it was May 27th. I think was the day that I broke my ankle in two
You
places.
remember what day it was, despite not realizing the ankle was broken for like a week and a half.
Well, it was a week, and I thought it was just like a really bad sprain. So I was just, I was putting ice on it. I was chilling, and then it just didn't get better.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, it's broken. So it was just like the Friday after it happened. I went to the doctor, did an X-ray, and yeah, I found out my ankle's actually broken, and not just sprained.
Nice. You said in two places too, huh?
Yeah, but
Sick.
like I mean, I don't know, it feels all right now, but it was pretty painful. Pretty
Just
painful.
removed it from the boot.
Yeah. Took it off.
So you
A little boot that I used to walk around makes me like kind of waddle a little bit because it's like tall. So it's kind of funny, but
kind of like when our noble president broke his ankle chasing the dog out of the shower, right? He tried to grab the dog's tail.
Why
Yours was
so,
dog related too, wasn't it?
dude, dogs are hurting people, man. Like, yeah, they're
Okay,
They can get
hold
the
on.
president, they can get you too, bro.
Okay,
That's right.
Mr. President, why the fuck do you have the dog in the shower with you?
Well,
Because
just
it's
in the
bullshit,
bathroom.
bro. Because it's all bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah.
dogs, they get in the bathroom. I know. They get in the bathroom.
I mean, I know that there are some people, like the dog may join them in the shower, but
Oh,
you're the president.
I should hope not.
Yeah. Usually
I'm
tends
sorry,
to be smaller
Katie.
dogs.
I didn't join you on your live stream, but I saw you. I was driving, and I was like, oh, I should holler, but I'm driving.
Well, John, looks like
So I
Katie's got a
lurked.
new name for you. Crippy.
Yeah. I've been going by Crippy Boy, Crip, Cryptastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've come up with a couple of names myself.
Crip the Ripper.
Crip the Ripper, yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah. So that in John's life, stuff like breaking his ankles and shit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
Well,
go to.
in the meantime, I hung out with my brother. That was cool. Haven't seen him in a number of years, and
That's cool, yeah.
yeah, my brother, sister, and I all got together, and what was cool was like coming home from work, and they were vibing, and it was cool because we haven't seen each other in like 11 years all together, all three of us, and yeah, and so they were just vibing like they had seen each other, just like they fell right back into it. It was cool to come up to, and they were hanging out. It was fun.
yeah, that's wholesome.
And dude, he's got a nice car arms 1911, and it's pretty sweet. I got him some magazines because he couldn't find magazines for it.
Nice.
So I got him a couple from the manufacturer, and they worked really well. We shot it up like 300 rounds. It was here. It was sweet.
Awesome, yeah.
That
Hell
pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah, man. But that's what's been going on. That's what's good. It's all good, man. It's all good. Getting down. But I mean, most of the time, you know what, dude? I'm gonna come off it. I red pilled my grandma today.
No shit.
Yeah. Well, I'll explain. It's not like I really, gave it to her or whatever. I just tried to substantiate some of the claims that I make to her because she often asks my opinion on things kind of to get my goat. Like, she'll ask it in such a way, like, she's totally a normie. She'll be like, so, what do you think of these Trump indictments? And then I shock her with my answer that Seawall would probably guess, is that it's an attempt to get supporters to not support him anymore, right? And she's like, so shocked, right? She's totally normal. She gets her news from CBS Mornings and Good Morning America, and she watches The View, like, very normie, super duper normie. And so, I often express myself, and she listens, but, she doesn't understand where I'm coming from. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I set her television up for her today, and I plugged in when I was done with it, and I just showed her just a bunch of receipts. I was like, here's why I feel this way, and here's why I feel that way. And she's like, holy crap, I didn't realize all of it. I was like, I'm trying to tell you. There's a lot you don't know that you don't know.
Exactly.
And there's a lot that people don't know that they don't know. But you know what? That's reducing in number, isn't it? We see stuff like Bud Light, which we're going to talk about, because I'm sure everyone here is already like crap.
Oh, yeah. They're
Like-
pretty much fucked at this point. They're going to have to do massive layoffs and massive downscaling of production.
Yeah, but maybe we can take the piss out of them while we're here together on the porch.
Well, I mean, they're piss beer, so...
Yeah, there you are. Speaking of, I might have to reach for another Modelo. I've been on the fence. Like, of course I drink the Yingling. Love the Yingling. Hate Bud Light. Simple as. Not homophobic, just don't like him. And
also homophobic.
no, I'm not, dude. It's and that's what I was trying to explain to Grandma today. I was like, look at this particular individual, this Dylan guy. Is he not obnoxious? Was this presentation that he gave not condescending and like tasteless and totally not in touch with the demographic? She was like, yeah, I have to acknowledge that, right? Because she was not even familiar with. All she sees is like homophobes boycotting Bud Light, right? And I'm trying to convince her that she, like a million of other people, who she can't understand why half her neighborhood, most of her neighborhood, supported Donald Trump. She doesn't get it. She's expressed that to me. She's like, I don't get it. What am I doing? What are they seeing that I'm not seeing? I'm like, I'm trying to tell you.
You can't watch the mainstream. The mainstream is completely
there's so
controlled.
Much.
Yeah.
But I mean, she can't go outside it either. It's not like she's well versed in internets. It's not like she could freaking hang with Shan culture. It's not like she watches a lot of YouTube. She has trouble hearing people, on the TV or whatever.
Well, I mean, if you did teach her how to join the Chan culture, I'm sure she'd become Chan's grandma pretty quickly.
Jed is in the chat trying to what do you call it? Goad.
Name the nose. Trying to get you to name the nose.
Trying to goad at me, but no. So that's kind of my day. Like you gotta understand. Like I don't want. She trusts me about everything. She's like, oh, you're so smart. I can get. How do you know what you know? I'm like, Grandma, the internet. Right? And that's all I left it at for the longest time. I was like, Grandma, just the internet. I read things. Right? I read online and I, sharing, medical journals and stuff. I read stuff. And she wasn't content to leave it at that. But she doesn't understand. She's not from that. She's not from that circle. She's not on Twitter. She doesn't Facebook. She watches TV. It's not, and she's 91 years old, so what is she gonna do? Like get with it? No, man, I don't typically bother her. But, last time I saw her, she was like, I really don't understand why you feel the way you feel about like the vaccine, about she wants me to get it, of course. She doesn't understand why I wouldn't trust these people on TV. And how do you explain that to someone? I don't know if you guys have a lot of relatives or, people with whom you would take the time to try and convince, at the very least, that you're worthy of their trust and not, crazy.
Well, I mean, my dad and I are pretty on the same wavelength. It just varies between which of us is more extreme on a certain topic. That's the only difference between us.
Well, yeah, so you don't have to deal necessarily with normies, except in your business life. And in that regard, these subjects don't come up.
You'd be surprised, actually, and I actually am very careful.
Yeah, you gotta be, because you're on a recorded line.
But I in a call a while ago regarding somebody was having trouble with some training on a web training thing. I was kind of going through, helping him get through it. He literally wrote in the comments area, "woke garbage."
Nice. Based. Well, that's good, because that's probably what it was. Training,
it was some sort of
mandatory fucking training.
It was some mandatory DEI training.
Mandatory anti-white training.
Yeah. And he's called it woke garbage. And the thing is, he's not alone. I've got a colleague that's pretty based. So
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But that's just reactionary. You're reactionary. You guys are you chuds are reactionary.
Well, yeah, we're reacting to your bullshit.
Yeah.
Also, if you keep going down this road, are you willing to fight and die for what you believe in, Soy Boy?
They're willing to let others do it.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
The
military's shrinking.
The
police and military are shrinking at the same time. Who the fuck's gonna fight for them?
Yeah, and there's rumors that they're backing off of some of these messaging recently to try and get people back into the fold.
Here's the problem: the damage is done unless they do a hard 180. And not only, I wouldn't even say they could.
Would you believe them if they did? Though?
Well, no.
Would you believe
I would.
Them
I believe. I would believe
did?
them if they not only go beyond Don't Ask, Don't Tell to a just ban on those people in the military and actually start court-martialing them, or more specifically, we will let you have a general discharge, basically voluntary discharge kind of thing.
No, dude, I'm talking about the ideologues, the people who run this shit.
Oh yeah, start bouncing them out.
Appointed generals. No, I'm talking more like walls, concrete walls with pock marks in them are involved. Right? And
I mean, we're rapidly barreling towards that.
I like barrels, like 7 of them in a line.
Going down Niagara Falls.
Well, aim for the heart, lads. One of you aim for the balls.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so good times, man. So, I think that's the only thing that would turn me back onto it.
Yeah, so
honestly, because they're gonna try any means they can to recruit people for their war.
Well, here's the problem: they're running out of munitions. Ukraine is likely to fall in the next 6 months unless we get directly involved. And the problem is, there's not enough support for it. Not only that, but they've had to scapegoat the Ukrainians for the pipeline.
The pipeline.
So they are preparing.
God. Yeah, what a bullshit
They are
thing.
Slowly preparing to freeze out the Ukrainians. I think what they're trying to do, they're buying time.
There's a narrative shift underway.
I think there's a narrative shift, and what they're going to do is, while they slowly shift, they're going to try to get as much evidence out of the Ukraine as possible, and then make the claim of, we never truly supported Ukraine.
Yeah, but except to the tune of billions of dollars.
Yeah. Or they'll come up with some, we found evidence that Zelensky was planning to do, insert horrific thing here. Yeah, find some group that they like and claim that he was trying to. Yeah. Yep. So. Yep. Try to find some group they like, because for God's sakes, we're begging the Japanese for artillery shells.
Yeah, and they're demilitarized largely.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So USA is the Great Satan?
At this point, yes.
Moloch worshipping occultists.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, the Islamists, they're like a broken clock. They had a couple of things right. Everything else, fucking little girls. Yeah, no, fuck you.
Right? Yeah. Let's
wood chipper. You're just as bad. But you got one thing right. Good job. We'll put a bullet in your head before we shove you in the wood chipper.
That's right.
That's what you get.
You're still going foot first.
Yeah, but you're dead before that happens. So
That's right.
Yeah. So move.
So I mean, what's so dangerous about us being right?
Well, yes, exactly. Conspiracy theorists keep getting things right. Experts warn that's dangerous. Now, we're not 100% if this is a Poe or not, but it's still fun.
I vote for it being fake. It just seems...
Yeah. But
it's too
it's too on the nose. But there are plenty of people in the mainstream that are alluding to this topic without directly saying it, because they know directly saying it would wake up normies.
Well, what's fun is literally reading it being directly said. It just seems so absurd. All right, so in a world increasingly dominated by sensationalism and misinformation, conspiracy theories have found fertile ground to flourish. The experts now warn they are witnessing the emergence of a new threat vector. Conspiracy theorists being proven right, lads. Proven right. Exposure of government surveillance programs like PRISM and MKUltra. The acknowledgement of covert operations like Operation Gladio have all served as a sobering reminder that conspiracy theories are not always baseless. Oh my god, you guys. You mean our opinions aren't baseless? They're actually based?
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't necessarily crazy, and maybe they know something you don't.
Well, not only that, but let me go on to a slight tangent regarding conspiracy theories. There was once a guy that inadvertently, during the Cold War, inadvertently picked up the encrypted radio traffic of some sort of secret communication system the CIA was using to, and military intelligence were using to connect with agents all over the world. But the thing is, the guy thought it was aliens. And then what the government did, and this is horrific, they didn't come to him and tell him to stop. No. They played into it. They sent transmissions that would he'd specifically be able to decode that made it seem like it was aliens. They sent men in black suits, and this was from the military base. This was the military guys fucking with them. In the end, the guy ended up in an asylum because he went paranoid schizophrenic, or delusional paranoid.
Fucking gaslighting.
Yeah, they gaslit him into thinking it was aliens to cover their tracks and destroyed a man's life.
More recently, the lab leak theory regarding the origins of COVID-19. You mean that shit that we talked about 2 years ago on this show?
Yeah, we said it was a very likely cause of it. That while it was possible, it was natural, it was unlikely. The question.
You don't understand. We were more or less by random chance the ones to recently gain traction in expert opinions. Hey guys, were we making this shit up, or were we listening to experts too?
Yeah, we were listening, just not the popular experts.
I see. Oh, so we were listening to expert opinions.
Yeah,
right?
they pointed out that based on probability alone, the chances of all of this happening at once, that this likely came from the lab, either as an accidental leak or possibly as a purposeful one, but that one was less likely.
Right. And what did they use to substantiate their claims to us, the public?
Well, histories of accidents at that laboratory, the unofficial practices of selling the test animals into the wet
you're
market.
Referring to instances of publicly available information.
Yeah, publicly available information, as well as a little bit of rumor. I'll freely admit the stuff about them selling animals on the black market was more in the
How can we prove that? How can we definitively prove that?
I mean, there was information coming from people in China.
We can show the preponderance of evidence that happens regularly.
Yeah. It was also, I believe, a couple of times was caught and reported in more mainstream Chinese press. But that was historic. So combining historic information with newer rumors.
You mean expert speculation based on publicly available information that points strongly to the conclusion? Right? You mean like a theory?
Of a systemic practice done by this lab.
Of a conspiracy. Right?
I prefer
it's
the
a
term
theory.
Alternative hypothesis.
Oh, I see. It's an hypothesis based on a bit of supposition, but we already know, and what anyone has the ability to know, should they care to explore the topic in a meaningful manner, rather than just at the surface level of the mainstream.
Well, not only that, but I mean, you've heard about how Pfizer's being forced to release information. It's showing this thing has not a failure rate, but an adverse reaction rate, something like 10 or 100 times what the FDA ever allows to be released normally.
My lord. While the true origins of the virus remain unclear, the fact that a modern conspiracy theory could potentially hold elements of truth has raised alarm bells among guardians of democracy, like journalists and experts. Don't go down the rabbit hole from the New York Times is linked. I'm sure we all remember that classic. Yeah.
Don't believe your lying eyes, kids.
That's right. Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Remember the other time where they got the curtain pole, it's illegal for you to look at these documents, but it's different for the media. No, it isn't. The only people in the world that it's illegal to look at those classified documents once they're out in the public is people with security clearance. That's it.
Well, aside from whether your personal feelings regarding whether we should function as an open, inclusive, and equitable democratic society, once dismissed theories find validation, shadows of doubt are cast upon the credibility of the mainstream institution and experts who set out to protect us to begin with. You guys, they're just trying to protect us.
Well, hold on. Alternate theory. what if their goal isn't protect us to protect themselves? That if these, because the thing is, some of those conspiracy theories do show that these people are horrible, degenerate fucks that engage in extremely horrific behavior that at any other point in history would have gotten them,
would
$20
merit them a 109? Are you referring to behavior that merits people 109 times expulsion? Is that the sort of thing you're making?
I really hope that we can get to 110 or preferably over 200.
Oh man, dude, there's only 230 out there.
Yeah. Let's make it 229.
Really a high percentage. Yeah, there you go. There's just they do have a place.
Yeah. But
everyone has a place, right? Everyone has their place, except white folks, white Europeans. They don't get a place.
That is true. Yeah.
Races.
Yeah. Even in their own nations where they, evolved, where they literally built it with their own two hands, with their ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears.
Nah, dude, we all was Kangs. We was Beethoven's. We was Mozart.
I think he had a grandfather that was a Moor, which is more of a North African, which are more kind of a mix of Arabic and other groups. So
have you heard of the modern Moorish nation?
To my knowledge, the Moors.
Heard of these guys?
I mean, some Moors
the
were
Moorish nation. Have you heard of them? It's like sovereign citizens, but black people.
Yeah,
and they're all descended from the Moorish kingdoms, and they all have special rights based on old treaties with the U.S. government that were dishonored.
Well,
so,
hold on.
They can travel and shit.
Hold on,
Moors.
slight issue. The Moorish nations were North Africa. Most of those guys are descended from Western African.
I like Gaius. I like Gaius is getting triggered by our disparagement of the Freedom Convoy as a terrorist conspiracy organization. Oh man, they sat outside my apartment and honked.
No. Gaius is pretty based. I've talked to him, and
I know it's funny though. Fuck Canada. I'm with him, bro.
I do agree with that.
Yeah. Fuck Canada.
Oh, I'm not seeing the actual live chat. Yeah.
Why not? Oh, I see your top chat, and it's being filtered. Oh, he was filtered by top chat.
Yep. So yeah, though I'll say this, Gaius a bit of a Romaboo, unfortunately.
That's all right. Yeah. We have room for fasci. Let's see here. Less nuanced thinking argue that revelations of truth serve as a necessary check on power. Less nuanced thinking argue that revelations of truth serve as a necessary check on power. Yeah, how dumb of us, how not nuanced of us to think that revealing the truth would put the brakes on some of these people's exertion of influence. What do you think?
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep. So
let's see. Experts all agree on the importance of critical dialogue about the dangers of conspiracy theories and the need for democracy, stakeholders, NGOs, and governments. The stakeholders are NGOs and governments, you guys, not citizens.
This cannot be real. There's no way.
Yeah, but the thing is...
This is just too...
It's too... The thing is, it is very fucking close to what they actually say. It's just
they do say these things, just never in a row like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about this article, is like all of these things are pretty mainstream and not exactly controversial.
Yeah, it's just collecting them in one place. So even this is a Poe. This is a very good Poe because he's just consolidating it. That's it.
Right, this person definitely knows like the WEF agenda and how to kind of, put it out there. Because it's like perfect. This democracy, stakeholders, talking about like
I fucking hate that stakeholders bullshit as well.
Yeah, the stakeholder capitalism. It's just communism. Well, that's literally all it is. It's Soviet-style communism.
Yeah, it's basically it's basically everyone has a stake in your company. No,
what did you say, John? If you read a book,
you read his book.
Read books. Yeah. Read fucking books and learn things.
And my ankles
understand. Yeah, and understand what people think and why they believe what they believe, and even if they've never read those.
The best way to fight conspiracy theory isn't with facts. Okay, I've got to check this article.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Could it be time to deny white men the franchise?
Are you trying to actually push them into getting genetic?
All right. Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
So, scooting on to the next one.
Are we? Where are we at now? Let's see.
New report highlights U.S. 2021 gun-related deaths for second straight year. U.S.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Well, first, okay, guys. Okay, I don't think guns were the cause of the spike in suicides. What was happening in 2021?
No, you don't understand, and it's here somewhere. Guns were responsible. Let's see. Where's it at? That's right. But represent only 2% of the U.S. population. In 2021, guns were responsible for 51% of all deaths of black teens between 15 and 19 years old.
Who was holding the gun?
Guns were, you guys. It's guns.
So guns were holding other guns?
Johns Hopkins University, Bloomberg School of Public Health. Yep. These are experts, you guys. These are the ones. Because
Gaius is begging for it. He wants me to say Trudeau is a tyrant. All in agreement, say aye.
Yeah, definitely.
The ayes have it.
A tyrant.
My motion passes unopposed.
Like, why wouldn't I believe that? I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like
a beer in your frozen cup. Yeah.
Nice. Got wifey on beer duty. Yeah, absolutely. So guns were responsible. Don't you understand? There are some other juicy facts in here that I really like.
I love this. They account. Okay. Young black males between 15 and 34 were most at risk. They accounted for 36% of all gun homicides. That's a lot for 2% of the population.
I wonder why.
That's so weird. It must be guns responsible for 51% of all deaths of black teens.
Yeah, so not only are they responsible, but they're racist too.
No.
Right.
No. It's not black teens. It's young black males between the ages of 15 and 34.
Jesus Christ! What segment of the population do they represent, Seawall?
The gang population usually.
They had a gun homicide rate twice the national average. Accounting for 3 out of every 5 homicide deaths in the nation were gun homicides between, we're talking about 60% of all deaths, homicide.
Yeah. No, 3 out of every 5 homicide deaths. Yeah, in general. So that includes, bar fights, stabbings.
Mass shootings.
Yeah, everything.
At birthday parties and graduation parties and mass gatherings at gas stations and get-togethers where people get hit by cars of people who are trying to escape the gunfire.
And here's another one.
The melee.
For 2021, white males were the most at-risk accounting for gun suicides. Don't
you love that stat? Don't you love that stat? For gun suicides, white males were most at risk. 70% of all firearm suicides. Only 29% of the population boys. We're only 29 boys. We're only 29% of our own nation's lads.
Well, fortunately, you don't need to be a majority to control it if you are willing to limit who has a voice.
Well, why limit anyone, right? We all need to live in our spaces and police our communities and whatnot. Why limit anyone? As long as you're not anti-white, free to participate. We have standards. We live in a society.
Yep, so here we go.
Dude, that's people 75 and older were at the highest risk for gun suicide. The rate twice the national average.
Yeah.
So we are acknowledging white male suicide here.
Yeah.
We do get to
But they're blaming the guns, not them literally being shit on by the entirety of society. The thing is, for all those suicides, those are the ones that can't cope. One of the things that they should be really scared about is the young white men, or young men, the ones that fight wars.
Number one threat to national security right now.
Well, yeah, but here's the problem. Do they have enough people to stop them if they just said enough is enough and rose up?
What does that look like, dude? What are you even talking about?
Okay. Do you know what a color revolution is?
I mean, color revolutions are backed by nations.
Sorry, let me rephrase.
Credit lines.
An actual revolution. Charismatic leader comes to leads them.
You don't need one of those, dude. Look at the Romanian revolution against communism after the fall of the USSR.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, young men are the ones that fight wars. Always.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're killing themselves, the useful ones anyway, and then the useless ones are killing each other, like...
No.
Who's left to...
No. The useful ones aren't killing themselves. The ones that can't cope are. The ones that see no way out. So the black pillars are the ones that are dying off.
Dude, I mean, they're victims of a mind virus.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we should try and reach out to those people.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. The rate of conservatives committing suicide is probably, I believe it's the lowest in the nation. They've got the lowest suicide rate. Which group has the highest?
Incidence of self-reported mental illness, too.
Well, not only that, but I think even when they go into the records, they find that they tend to have the lowest rates. Only the furthest extreme right sees a higher rate, but it's not by much.
Yeah. Talking about a bell curve, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yep. So.
Well, we're having good times with this article here.
Oh, yeah.
Gun suicide rate from 2019 to 2021 increased 10%. Non-gun suicide rate decreased by 8%. Wow. American Indian and Alaskan Natives. Largest relative increase in gun suicide rate, up 55%. The next highest increase, now we're talking about an increase here, and a percentage one. From 2019 to 2021, the suicide rate among black people increased 38%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. 38% of 5 is, 7. So.
Yeah, and also here we go. 2021, a person living in Mississippi was 10 times more likely to die by gun violence than someone living in Massachusetts.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Mississippi. Yeah. I wonder what part specifically of Mississippi.
Exactly. It isn't. They're doing the old trick of lying with statistics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I hear that all the time on Twitter. Whenever something happens in Tennessee, or someone from Tennessee is like shitting on someone else, or like, oh well, that's why Tennessee's murder rate is so high. But it's like, okay, if you remove Memphis, though, it's like 30 something.
Oh my god!
Yeah, if you
it's
drop
like 30 something in the whole country, it's like all in one place, and it's by one group.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of interesting when you look at more rural areas. They have like a murder every 20 years, and it's like, oh my god, and it's usually accidental in some way, shape, or form. It's business partners, going down in flames. It's an affair.
Or it's intra-racial. It's usually intra-racial.
Yeah, but again, it's usually heat of passion, like an argument goes too far between a married couple who are already
one of those altercations. Yeah, you gotta love a domestic dispute and an altercation. That's my new euphemism for people. Joggers,
But also enact stronger concealed carry permits and repeal standard ground laws. That has nothing to do with this.
Isn't that great?
That has nothing to do with this.
They want to use black-on-black violence to, what did they say? Red flag laws and implementing gun purchasing licensing and repealing stand your ground laws.
Yeah.
Okay, they want to use this leverage.
Yeah, this one does nothing. This one does nothing. And this one does nothing to actually stop violence.
Investing in community violence intervention programs.
Mixed success.
We need more money for them programs.
Yeah, no.
We need more money
and then
for
this
them
one,
programs.
Unironically. You guys do realize that there are very few kids that shoot themselves or shoot others by accident every year. It's a handful a year.
We have our share. We have our fair share here in the Southeast, bro. We get them all the time. Kids shooting themselves with that happens.
Or their friend or whatever on accident.
Yeah, but I thought it was like maybe there was maybe a dozen or so.
They cousin. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, got it.
Remember that little girl who shot her cousin in the bathroom on Facebook Live?
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to specifically if our audience is not familiar.
Moving on to the.
But you know what? I bet stronger concealed permitting laws and repealing stand your ground laws would stop shit like that from happening, wouldn't it, Seawall?
Yeah, of course,
No,
yeah,
wouldn't.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Until it doesn't, and then you gotta enforce.
You just
more
got to
laws.
do it harder. You just got to do it harder.
Hey, crazy idea.
So stupid.
What if we, followed Texas's example of permitless carrying, and then thus it becomes a high risk for people to commit crime because, well, you try to commit a crime and you get shot.
I'm telling you, Seawall, it's not common sense. It's not. I still get people, including my grandma, who are shocked, like, well, at my seemingly common sense reasoning is that criminals are already concealed carrying firearms.
Yeah.
Right? So,
why are we trying to
and
limit
they're
ourselves?
always, like, shocked by that argument. What do you mean? People are just going to haul off and shoot each other.
No,
Oh,
they're
you
not.
mean, like, every day? You mean, like, they do all the time anyway?
Yeah.
Right? So what exactly is changing?
Nothing.
Right, nothing
no.
except now Grandma can carry a revolver, and when she gets fucking
Grandma
shoved,
can have a little 38 special in her purse just in case.
That's right.
And she can pull in. Oh no, my heart!
Oh no, my heart!
Call an ambulance!
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Bang! That 38
right,
special
dude.
hollow point, man. 38 special hollow point. You ain't getting up from that.
Dude. Nice. I gave my mom hollow points, 38 buffalo bore, 38 lead semi-wad cutters, hollow points.
Oh,
yeah, dude.
You're going war. You're going
speed,
war.
yeah.
You're going British war crime rounds there.
Yeah, dude. I'm
Man
talking about
stoppers.
severing your spinal cord, fool.
Man stoppers, I think is what they called them.
That's right, dude. Knock them down. I gave her that as a gift.
Yep. So.
She carries a little LCR.
Yep.
Raw.
So, moving on to the next one.
Gotta stay strapped, lads. You gotta stay strapped.
This one's kind of a one we can kind of quickly go over. Just more tiresome.
Just a quickie, yeah.
More lefty normies. Fucking around and now finding out.
Oh yeah, you gotta vote for these things.
Yeah.
And you gotta appoint these judges. This 85-year-old Carter-appointed Jewish judge stepped in. You know what? He hadn't even, from my understanding, actually applied for a membership. He sued them prior to application, and then she ruled that they have to accept his application.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say he, even if it violates TOS, because fuck him. Why should I care?
Ooh, Korean spa. Thank you for pushing the Asians to the other side.
A little bit to the right.
Yeah, a little bit further to the right.
Further.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Asians are pretty conservative for the most part.
Yeah, well,
they tend to vote
Democrat.
left.
They vote Democrat.
But I think they're starting to change pretty significantly because they're having to roof Korean more and more these days.
No, you don't understand. Yeah. They're equally the victims of white supremacy alongside their black victimizers.
Yeah.
No, dude, they're
right. Blacks are only driven to violence against Asians because of white supremacy.
Right, but Asians are white adjacent. So,
white adjacent. That's right.
Yeah,
they're a model minority.
That's right.
But that's only because of the systemic systems of white systems that say that they're the model minority and should be aspired to.
But if the white supremacist system is pro-white people all the time, why are Asians doing better on average than the white people? You'd think they would be like close
Indian
to
Americans specifically.
Yeah.
Indian Americans specifically have the highest median income in the country as a demographic.
Yeah. Well, that's also partially due to brain drain. We're literally taking the outright smartest from India.
Is that good for India when we do that?
No.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you mean it's actually bad for developing nations for the
brain
United
drain is
States
horrific.
to absorb third worlders?
Well, not only that, but I mean, Russia's having that problem too. Well, their educated people have been running to the West because more comfortable lives.
Well, yeah, you get paid more for your expertise.
Exactly.
It's the market. That's with regards to that's the market.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could understand being a place, an institution of learning. Like we can take them as students as long as they go home. Like they can go home and take their education back to their home countries and apply what they learned to developing their home nations.
Well, the problem is the problem is you look at a lot of these home nations, they they tend not to accept their
Kind
own
of
people back.
anti-intellectual, aren't
Yeah.
they? Largely?
So I'm in the camp of fuck it, not accept any of them, let them burn. Eventually their population will crash so low that hey, it's free real
Maybe
estate.
they have to fucking get it together.
Well, or they either have to get it together or it's free real estate.
It's free real estate. It's free real estate.
So
Yeah, buddy. Well, all right. So this guy sues them, and this is him. This is his posts on Instagram. These are legit posts.
yeah,
by
there's the
man
picture.
suing.
This is their internal image of themselves, clearly.
I did it. I worked with the Washington Human Rights Commission, a fucking NGO. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Destroy all NGOs. Drop kick or roundhouse kick an NGO into the concrete. You know, defecate in an NGO's food. Behead NGOs. Like, all that. Total NGO death. Human Rights Commission and got Olympus Spa, the main naked lady spa in the area, to change their policies and allow all self-identified women access regardless of surgery.
Oh, there's
and
gonna be
gender.
so many fucking weirdo
I should be soy
dudes.
voicing this
Yeah.
thing. All right, next one I'll soy voice.
Yeah.
All right, scroll. Making fun of Viagra or small penises isn't the feminist act you think it is. It harms trans women and femmes with penises. You guys. I realized something important today. I'm more woman than any TERF will ever be because I am an intentional woman, whereas they are only incidental. Wow, you guys, that's pretty big brain. That's pretty big fucking brain right there. Oh my god, I'm floored. I'm floored by that reasoning. This guy wakes up every day and tries really hard to be a woman. That makes him a woman more than a woman who, like, wakes up and
Also,
is a woman.
the thing I find hilarious is the radical feminists created this, and they're trying to back off. No, you were the ones that said sex didn't matter, that a woman can do just as good of a job as a man, that women were equal to men. You made your bed, fucking lie in it.
Now men are better women than women. Right? Listen to him. He's better women than actual women.
Yeah.
Because he tries harder than women to be a woman.
Yeah.
Women don't have to try and be women, you guys. That makes them less women. That's how that works.
Wait,
God, these guys are fucking brainlets. Oh my lord.
Wait, isn't that kind of the caricature of the anti-feminist the feminist had? That women need to act more like women? And stop trying to act like men? So God, it's a ball of insanity.
World, lads.
Honk.
It's still happening. Even though we're not here to share it with you on the porch, it's happening. We're with you in spirit.
Yeah.
Always. We are with you always in spirit.
Yeah.
Sorry if we can't share it with you and keep you up to date on all things. That actually takes a lot of fucking work.
I mean,
So be fucking grateful that we're even here.
I
tonight.
know the youngest member of the cast, Mr. Midshipman Tucker, could tell between a man and a woman.
Bet he could.
Oh.
Yeah.
All he does is put his nose in the area that moneymaker. Yeah. Well, can we break it up with maybe a "We Was Mermaids" meme?
I could jump ahead for that if you'd like.
Yeah, let's get one. Just give me a little taste. Look at me. I'm the Little Mermaid now. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's so great. I like that format, too.
Yeah.
I like the "Look at me, I'm the captain now" format.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Look at me. I'm the little... That's right. He is the Little Mermaid now.
So
He's so beautiful. Look at that. And he's got a great singing voice.
Scooting back to this one. This one we're going to touch on quickly. It's they're doing everything they can. They've been sharing different narratives for a while now to get people to not vote for Trump.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the thing is, let's say, bolt of lightning, Trump's dead. No one's fault. Literally, he's just been deleted from the universe. You don't think they're not going to go this hard against DeSantis? Or any other Republican?
They gotta set DeSantis up.
to be the one they go hard against.
Exactly.
That's
So why not
idea.
go against the guy that we know is that they're going after the hardest?
Oh, because that's what we're supposed. This is the update of the Smith-Mundt Act that I was telling Grandma about earlier. This is CIA propaganda aimed at U.S. citizens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is, look at them. They find, like I mentioned in chat, they find safe identities, permissible opinions for people to have and identify with and maintain their social standing.
Here's the problem. Those people don't care anymore.
These people also don't really exist.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them they actually do, but like
they're a
the
tiny
exception.
minority that will, at the end of the day, will either not vote at all or begrudgingly vote for Trump. They're either a non-issue or they're going to back Trump. Or they're literal fucking plants, which the ones that do exist. The ones that don't exist, the ones like, this one.
Despite her anger about Trump's plight, he will not win her support.
Yeah.
Is that not relatable, Seawall? Is
No,
that
it isn't.
not what normies are feeling?
No, that's not what. That's what some Democratic normies might be feeling. The ones that aren't quite as hardcore.
Who see it for what it is,
yeah.
but can't support Trump.
Yeah.
Just because Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas independents are swinging hard for Trump because I think they're fucking tired of it because they see their paychecks shrinking and their debt rising. And they're thinking back, it wasn't like this under Trump.
Some of them might remember that far back.
So,
I mean, I don't think most of them really remember the Summer of Love, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't remember the time that leftists stormed the White House.
Yeah.
Remember they sent fucking Donald Trump into hiding in
and
the
they laughed about,
bunker?
look at the coward going into the bunker. Well, one, under current law with how the Secret Service works, if the president is under threat, they will pick him up and carry him if they have to. Trump had no decision in that matter. At all. If he refused...
And why is that, Seawall? Because they pushed it to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not... Protests should make people uncomfortable, you see.
Well, then January 6th, you should demand all of the people be released right now. Every single one of them.
Oh, what do you got?
They're
like
just making
Congress or something?
Yeah.
What do you got? Like soul?
Yes.
What are you, not retarded?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm autistic, not retarded.
That's silly. No, see, I see you clearly have common sense as opposed to people who just go along with it.
Yeah.
Like the people we met earlier who give Christianity a pass because the leadership does, and they just go along with that.
And, Judaism.
Islam and Judaism. Yeah, that's right.
We haven't gotten to that one yet, though, in the show.
Damn it,
is
Mijjt
that
spoiler.
part of the show?
Yeah, it's part of the show.
I thought it was.
Oh, okay. I thought
so I think we covered it. It's pretty standard stuff. Look, the establishment doesn't go this hard after a guy if they don't actually fear him.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And like I was saying in chat, this took a few days to establish, the narrative and find patsies with whom the public are allowed to identify. Otherwise conservative folks who are going to be allowed back into the fold. They're going to be allowed back into the fold, but only as long as they don't support Donald Trump.
Well, no, they're not going to be allowed back in the fold. It's a lie. They'll be called.
Well, that's
the
only
same
because
shit
Republicans as a party never win. They purposefully never win anything.
Well, the thing is, Trump's populism has completely infected the base. It's subverting the Republican Party.
Yeah, and that's a matter of much kvetching.
Yeah,
that's a matter of much.
I mean, look, once the upper leadership, once enough the upper leadership is replaced by effectively Trump loyalists, how quickly do you think?
But don't you see that as a threat to our democracy?
No, I see it actually as a functioning democracy. The paradigm is shifting. That's what happens in democracies.
How are you going to convince a normie that that's the case, though? How would you go about convincing?
You don't need to. All you need to do is win in the end, and the normie will do what they're told.
I see. Well, I don't say that's invalid. I don't think that's invalid.
Look. Why convince them when you get power, you can just tell them what to believe now? They're sheep.
Well, because you're talking about taking power over a number of subverted institutions, all of which are in alignment now.
Subvert them ourselves. I mean, it's already beginning.
Well, that takes a long time and a lot of people.
Not only that, but the thing is, these subverted institutions, these have also gone a bridge. They've also got a bridge too far with normies, with the whole child drag shows and child gender transitions.
No, don't forget that they can print money infinitely.
You can't print infinitely. You eventually hit hyperinflation and then collapse. And the thing is, the person
Has that ever stopped them before?
Well, yeah, it did stop them because all of them were dead after the new administration came to power.
What historical incident point to which that actually happened? I mean,
Germany.
The Rothschilds have been a family in charge for since the 1300s. I don't see that happening, dude. I just don't see it happening. They might collapse, but they're not going to get their comeuppance. They're going to be right back in power.
Well, the thing is, Germany got rid of a lot of that influence for a while.
Oh, look what happened to them, dude. Now they're hardly speaking German. They're speaking fucking Arabic.
Yeah, and then Mijjt. How about this? If they're truly in power, why aren't you bowing to them? If they're truly this all powerful, does that mean they shouldn't be in power? That they should be in power?
Oh no, obviously it's just
so Mijjt. The thing is,
do everything they do it and control. They will do everything. You're talking about replacing many people.
Yeah.
All those institutions you're talking about subverting, that takes a generation.
Yeah. And the thing is, they've gotten complacent. Our enemy's gotten complacent.
Complacent enough to leave, pictures of their dick and their niece and their teenage niece and evidence of fucking bribery and scandal on their laptops in a repair shop for over a year.
Yeah.
Of course, they're incompetent. They're retarded. They're full of shit.
And again,
but that doesn't stop.
Paradigm is shifting again. You do realize that paradigms shift, and they've sacrificed the long term so many times. There's a great line from the Chernobyl show. Every time we lie, we pay a debt to the truth. We gain a debt with the truth, and that's what's happening. The system is finally coming off its wheels, probably for good.
There's a lot of debt coming due.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with Disney, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of scooting along to the next one, another fun one that we can do pretty quickly. In affirmative action and student loan cases, some see backlash to racial progress in education. Biden's promise to pay off, student debt, I think is going to keep them at home.
You got to understand. This heifer has been in school for 10 years and has over $20,000 in undergraduate student loans. She's been counting on promised debt relief to wipe nearly all of that away.
Yeah. On her undergraduate.
No, listen, I feel like working people have been through enough. I've been through enough, said Green.
You're not a working...
She's a community organizer, okay?
Yeah.
From a pandemic, an uprising, a recession, the cost of living price going up, I deserve some relief.
No,
Listen,
you don't.
You guys, life happens to her, and she's black. Yeah. She's a community organizer, so she deserves relief.
No.
All of this life happened to her, as well as all of the rest of us.
If you were such a critical community organizer, why not put up a GoFundMe? See if your community steps up to help you out.
But that's just shoving off fucking responsibility again, isn't it? It's just another form of responsibility shirking. Now, there's a quote that I like particularly. All right, so year after year, we have elected officials, we have advocates, we have different politicos coming to our communities making promises. But now it's time to deliver on those promises. Guys, do you think it's time for them to deliver on promises they shouldn't be authorized to make? Or do you think it's time to stop year after year electing officials? Which do you think is more valid here?
I've got an alternate idea.
For them to deliver on those promises on our tax... No, Seawall, let me ask the question. Do you think it's more important that people deliver on the promise of our productivity to relieve these people's debt? Or do you think it's more important that they stop electing officials year after year who promise them things that they can't?
It's time for them to stop promising those officials. Instead, we should support officials that would go for a balanced budget amendment. I mean, it means that we're going to have to cut almost all welfare in the U.S., which means we'll probably have to, increase number of policing for a few years due to the food riots. But hey, the problem will solve itself in the end.
Well, don't you understand that about half the average debt held by Black and Hispanic borrowers would be wiped out if they received relief on their Pell Grants? But the other half would be car notes and fucking payment plans on furniture for the house.
Yeah.
That's the other half of their debt most of the time. Jesus. And their 590 credit scores. And their 19% financing on their V6 Dodge Charger.
Jesus. I have like a 710 to 720 credit score. How did I pull that off?
What are you, white?
Yeah.
What are you, white? What do you, like, pay your loans back or something?
Every month, to the best of my
abilities.
abilities.
Like, paying your loans despite the fucking... Don't you understand that they suspended payments and interest? You'd be a fool to pay on your loans in that time, wouldn't you?
I didn't have any student debt.
Well, see, that's the opportune time, by the way, just an aside from, Uncle Brendan here. Little piece of advice. That's the ideal time, is when you're not paying interest, pay your payments.
Exactly.
Pay your payments.
Yeah, pay
You took a loan, pay it back. Yeah. Did they not teach you this shit in college?
No, they didn't. They just said, sign here on the dotted line.
Yeah, please, sign here. We'll take your government money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take all of it. Hey, you know what? We just increased the price of tuition. Wouldn't you know it?
Yeah.
Get some more loans, please.
Yeah.
Oh, you're black? Well, you super duper belong here, so we're going to give you all the financial aid. You'll pay us back, I know it, because you're going to get a diversity, equity, inclusion job when we're done indoctrinating you.
Those jobs are disappearing last I checked. They're starting to fire those guys off because they're back-end worthless.
What?
Yeah, they're back-end worthless, and ESG is backfiring. Companies are starting to back away from it quietly.
Check it out, though. Tarina Ahuja, a good American name, that one. A rising senior at Harvard, you see, said being part of a diverse student body has been a crucial part of her undergraduate experience. She needs other black people to be around her, to feel comfortable in Harvard. I mean, POC. We don't know if she's black. She's Tarina Ahuja. She's a good Irish name, that. Irish. She recalled classes where students discussed their lived experiences on topics such as police violence, colonialism, and labor movements. That's what we need to be talking about in college classes, right?
Hey, Mijjt, you're
lived experiences. Yes. That's valuable.
Hold on, Mijjt, quick question about pre-colonial Africa. I believe you're a bit of a amateur historian or a dabbler in history.
Indeed, I dabble.
What was the technology level of sub-Saharan Africa pre-colonial?
Iron Age.
Everywhere, or just certain areas?
Certain areas that had access to slaves in the past, or slave markets in the past.
Also, wasn't the Mali Empire one of the greatest slave empires, who literally forced slaves to work in jungle gold mines?
Indeed. And they used that gold to trade.
Yeah.
As well as slaves.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, it's all white people's fault, after all. If white people weren't buying that gold, then they wouldn't have...
But whites weren't buying that gold. That gold's being bought by the Arabs.
Oh, I see. You mean the same ones that would geld their slaves?
Yes.
Then they didn't care if they lived or died through the process, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. That's interesting.
Yeah, forced march across the Sahara.
Well, they don't teach you that in school, do they?
Yeah, forced march across the Sahara.
Yeah, and they don't teach you that in school, do they?
Well, it technically was more East Africa, and there were some ships involved.
Dude, Mijjt, do you remember when we had a discussion with Jay about that? The Arab slaves, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, they were brought."
But it wasn't chattel slavery, bro. It wasn't chattel slavery. Yeah. It wasn't the same.
He was saying that they were brought there. They were brought into Arabia to be journalists and teachers, philosophers.
I mean, there were some Africans that joined the scholarly courts, but they were
that's not
slaves.
Why they were brought there, though.
Yeah, they weren't slaves.
Not why they were there.
those were guys that were educated in their home nation and then went to the other nations
apologetics.
Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ. the thing is also, who ended the Arab slave trade? Which group of people?
The British.
Yeah.
That's what I always say too. Whenever
Yeah.
people are like, they start talking about slavery,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, but who also ended the practice? The only people on Earth to have ended the practice.
Only white
Yeah.
people have ever actively ended slave trades everywhere they've gone.
Yeah, every African nation.
Sorry, but the human sacrifices will stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, there's no credit for that though.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Just no.
I've heard from somebody. No, they should have done it sooner. Wait. Then why the fuck weren't the Africans doing it? If the Africans are so great and innocent in this, why were they enslaving people before they even knew what a white person was? Why did the kings of those African slave nations?
Wakanda and shit.
Yeah. Why were the African coastal slave trading nations begging the British and hiring, I think it was like Portuguese and Spanish mercenaries, to try to prevent the British from stopping it? If it was such a horrific practice that black people always knew was horrific, why were their own people trying to force it through? Because it's all they had. The only resource a lot of those African nations had was slaves, unfortunately. Because they never advanced agriculture.
Dude, I was watching some Thomas Sowell the other day, and that was exactly his point.
Yeah.
The most efficient thing that was able to be transported over land over great distances that was worth it was humans.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing else that was small enough
Molly
to
had
be
gold.
transported easily,
That was Molly.
long distance enough to be worth the effort to transport it.
I mean, that was Molly, but they were an exception.
I mean, there weren't a lot of rivers for them to navigate with.
Nope.
There weren't a lot of coastal ports. Like they were stuck to land routes, and land routes were only returned their investment on human slaves.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was the chief export, of any given area.
Yeah, then not only that, but don't forget about the Barbary slave trade, which actually did do raids into European areas.
Yeah.
and people say, oh, well, the white slavers, they brought their ships up to the shore, they went inland and captured slaves. No, that was a very small amount of Portuguese at very few times. It was very rare that was ever done. They normally just went to an African port and traded, whiskey for people.
Berbers actually did that shit.
They actually
They raided Irish coasts.
Yeah.
And fucking grabbed white people.
Yeah.
Out of their fucking coastal villages.
Exactly.
Snatched them the fuck up.
Yep.
And you know what? The fucking U.S. Marines put an end to it.
Correct,
They're not gonna enslave fucking
from the halls of
American
Montezuma
soldiers.
to the shores of Tripoli, baby.
Well, that's right, dude. I mean, they only got involved, and you know what? We didn't give a fuck that they were raiding the Irish coastline. We weren't the world police. You know what, though? They were abducting American citizens, so we went in there and kicked the fucking door down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not my problem if it's over there on the other side of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
We're not the world police. At least we weren't at the time.
Yeah. Also, if Africans made utopias,
Africans make utopia.
then why? Well, also the thing is, to my knowledge, there was only one African nation that did okay for itself, but it was still in the face of white colonialism, which was Ethiopia, and they were still a horrific dictatorship.
Yeah, I mean, it suits the culture, though, doesn't it? It's reflective of their biospirit.
Yeah,
it keeps them in line. They had a moderately lawful, comparatively lawful society for the region.
Yeah.
And they were fairly, well organized.
Well,
and
I mean, the thing is, the Ethiopians were just copying the Europeans. They were colonizing.
I wouldn't say so. Like, honestly, it was that maybe, but before that, they were an empire. Just like any other.
Empire.
Well,
no. The Ethiopian Empire was much smaller before.
Yeah, a lot of empires in Africa were much smaller than ones we're used to talking about.
No. The Ethiopian Empire expanded after contact with Europeans because they bought modern weaponry from them.
Yeah, so
and they basically went imperial and took over every tribe around them.
Arguably for the better.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the whole Rastafari. That was Rastafari who did a lot of that. That was Emperor Haile Selassie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some African areas didn't even have the fucking wheel.
Right, and I mean, a lot of people hold him righteous in their minds. Like, that's Emperor Haile Selassie.
Yeah.
Obviously the third coming of our, Lord and Savior Jah. That's him. So
wasn't he a horrific dictator?
I mean, if you read, Jewish media a lot, it's like I was saying, he was reflective of the culture he was a part of, and he was ruthless. I mean, he was a fucking political genius. He eliminated his opposition.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, he basically kind of pulled off a what was it, The Prince, made by Machiavelli. He pulled off Machiavelli properly.
The Prince.
Yeah.
He did, and his wife was pretty cunning too.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? I salute him. Good work. Good.
Right.
Good
he
work.
elevated himself literally to godhood.
Yeah.
He elevated himself to godhood. You guys.
Yep,
Think about that.
Well, let's look at some of his distant relations then, and yeah.
Well, let's get back to this article because there's still little nuggets.
Okay. Yeah. Let's squeeze out.
Jonathan Loke, a graduate student at Harvard who helped organize teach-ins in support of affirmative action, said that for students of color, it's impossible to speak about their lives without mentioning race. Imagine that, you guys. These people are obsessed with their race. Really?
Well,
I'm so surprised. Look at my shocked face.
Well, also, you guys are kind of replacing your personality and individualism with a larger collective group, thus basically making yourselves extremely subservient to it.
Oh, of course. That's a nice insight, though.
Not only that, but it makes
that's to their advantage, you see, because that's
the current
paradigm.
Well, so long as the current paradigm maintains itself. If the paradigm shifts and it becomes a more pick you up by your fucking bootstraps, asshole, by your own bootstraps, asshole, they're going to collapse, starve out.
Well, that's kind of a country mentality versus this urban cosmopolitan mentality, where everyone is responsible for everyone else.
Well, also historically, every time there's been a civil war between the urban and the rural always won.
Now that's, I believe, something you can cite historical precedent.
Yeah. Not only that, another thing also, when it comes to fascism versus communism, communism only ever really took hold in agrarian, basically end of feudal state nations. It never took hold in industrialized nations.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's never taken, because the thing is, in industrial nations, it always goes to fascism. And the thing is, fascism is a left-wing ideology. It's a center-left ideology, but it is a left-wing one.
It is collectivist.
Yeah.
It is socialist as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It just understands that the economy is just a little too complex to control everything, so it allows certain things freedom so that it may better strengthen the state. So,
to a degree, yeah, right.
Exactly.
So long as it serves the interest of the folk.
Yeah. At the top. So if,
No, of the folk, of the people.
Yeah.
Ostensibly, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's in an interesting twist of fate. Let's say somehow politically, Germany never pissed off the British and French, and they were just left to their own devices.
Oh, you mean as living in a universe where they never issued their own currency, right? Independent of the World Bank.
Well,
of privately owned.
I'm saying whatever twists of fate need to change. Whatever twist of fate needs to change. Let's say, I said whatever other things need to happen. Alternate timeline. Germany if Germany isn't restricted materially, they win against the Russians. Period. If they're able to trade for the materials they need, they develop better quality tanks in large numbers, which can count. Because the thing is, the T-34 was a piece of shit.
Devote them entirely to the Eastern Front.
Yeah, not also all the troops. And the thing is, the T-34 is a piece of shit of a tank. It was terrible.
But it was good enough, and they made enough of them.
Well, okay, here's the thing. It's also been found that historically, it's exceptionally rare that a more numerous, less advanced opponent wins against a smaller force with more technological advancement.
That's attrition.
Yeah. Because the thing is, remember, even if you have twice as many tanks, but that means you have twice as many crews you need to maintain, twice as many spare parts, twice as much fuel, twice as much food, which is its own problem. Now, if you actually look at what happened, the T-34s were lost in massive numbers. And the thing is, someone did the math years ago. What would it have taken for the Germans to win? They would have needed to maintain a kill rate of 2 to 4 Soviet tanks for every German tank.
A KD ratio.
Yeah, and the Germans.
Come on, guys, respawn faster.
The Germans had
camped.
Yeah, the Germans had a 3 to 5 in their
How did
actual
we get on
timeline.
this?
Yeah. Oh, just kind of talking about. I think it's kind of getting back to the whole things go kinetic. The rural always wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
So.
So if the court rules against affirmative action, it will be important for colleges to find ways to show they see students as more than a number on paper. Do you think that's important, that students should be more than a number on paper, you guys? Do you really think that that's important to show students are more than a number on paper?
I mean,
maybe to a degree.
Ideally, we would reduce college sizes massively and have them focus on, hard, useful sciences and things like that. So we drop most of the humanity courses, and it would just be, engineering, physics, mathematics, business schools, because those are useful to an extent.
The last paragraph is, of course, about Juneteenth.
Oh,
if both of these are struck down, it will send a very clear signal that our court system does not support the most vulnerable populations.
Hey, asshole, I get it. You probably never took a civics course. The courts don't care about the populations. They care about, at least on paper, the Constitution. We're a country of laws, not of men. At least that's the principle we are supposed to be following.
That about wraps that one.
So, moving on to this.
Gorilla Quest says Gorilla Fighters. I love those Gorilla Fighters. They win more often than far superior forces when they stick to the method.
Yeah.
But they rarely do.
The issue guerrilla fighters have is they have basically
they have silverbacks.
No. The issue guerrilla fighters have usually is that they can't. As I said, once they step out of guerrilla warfare, they fucking lose hard.
And beyond that, if they're not being supplied by the CIA, they're being imposed by the CIA, which has the infinite might of the U.S. Federal government, which prints itself currency infinitely and shares it out to people and expects it back in real materials. We've covered all this.
Oh yeah, but how about we watch some horrific cooking, guys?
Let's take a break to season our food.
Oh God.
Let's take a break to season the cooking that we've got over the fire. We should have had that on our background. Is like us making a crab boil. That shit is platinum, son. Platinum. Our shit is platinum. We should have had it on the background. This is what we got going on the porch tonight. We're doing a crab boil.
Oh God.
Boy, this shit is platinum. We showing out. You start with orange juice.
God.
You got the lemon juice. Oh, you I got to get that lemon juice.
Oh, that's way too.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, seasoning.
Oh,
boy, you got to season your food. Why do white people not season their food?
Because you guys are just eating pure fucking seasoning at this point.
How come y'all don't season y'all food? Look at this seasoning.
I do. Do you know how long?
I got onion powder, and I got garlic powder,
do you know
and
how
I got
long
onion powder, and I got
my pack of garlic powder and onion powder will fucking last me?
Oh, well, dude, not that long if you're making a proper crab boil. I mean, look at that. That shit is platinum, son. Look at that. Yeah, season your food, white boy.
Oh, God.
Season that shit, son.
Oh,
how come y'all ate... Oh, look, you got the Zatarans. Get all of that.
Okay, potatoes fine, whatever. Potatoes are fine.
Oh, man.
But putting it in orange juice? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, that shit is platinum. Dude, why don't you season your food, Seawall?
I do.
Why don't you season y'all food?
I do.
Yeah, that shit looks really good though. I don't know.
You
That
cut
shit-
back on. Okay, swap out the orange juice for water, and drop the seasoning by like 90%.
I just have a
It's perfect.
question. Don't you guys think like one kind of seasoning is probably enough?
Yeah, like 1 pack of seasoning, maybe for something that big.
No, not 1 pack. I'm just saying one kind, right? All of the stuff that he's putting in, it's all celery powder, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika.
And
All
just
of the
sli- and just-
seasoning
and just
mixes that he's
slight-
putting
and just,
in
and
it?
just slightly different configurations. That's about it.
Configurations, right? That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Why not just put like a lot of one?
Yeah.
It's because it's all good, right? You love it all, so you put it all in there, even though it defeats
Oh
the
god,
purpose.
not even properly prepared shrimp.
No, yeah, you can't prepare the shit properly, bruh.
Oh god.
No, dude, you can't clean it. You can't take the heads off. You can't vein it or take the guts out. No, you gotta put it all in there, man.
Oh god.
You gotta pour it out into a trough.
Yeah.
Share it with everyone. Season your food, Seawall. Why don't you season your food, Seawall?
I do, to a reasonable
God.
amount. There's more seasoning than fucking shellfish in there.
Well, now they're getting the shellfish in there, so
Yeah.
don't worry too much about
And
it.
here's another example. Okay, 4 bottles of beer, fine. That's normal.
No, more beer than that. You
Yeah.
need like 6.
Okay, he's in the ballpark for what he's
Yeah.
doing.
He's just starting.
And then that amount of seasoning, that's probably fine.
That seems reasonable, right?
What the
Oh,
fuck?
but here's more of the same shit.
Oh god. Yeah.
It's more of the same shit, just with a different brand name.
Yeah.
Here's more of the same shit.
Yep.
More of the same shit. Just a different. More of the same shit. More of the same shit.
Even Quest's little girl is like bad cook.
I'm sure Quest can get down in his kitchen. Have you guys seen his kitchen?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Nice
posts
kitchen.
pictures and video of him cooking all the time.
Look,
He's
okay,
seems like
if
he's
he
really
did
good.
that first
Food
first
porn.
bit of seasoning and then those chopped things, he'd have been perfect. No problem.
Mhm.
Maybe add a touch of salt. But that's
No,
it.
you don't understand, Seawall. He's not. He's beyond perfect. He's platinum.
Oh god,
This
you're not
shit
even
is
prepped that shrimp.
platinum. A tub of unprepared shrimp.
Yeah.
Head on, guts in it,
Yeah.
veined, everything. Put it in a trough and share it with everyone. Season your food, Seawall. Why don't you season your food?
I do, to a reasonable amount.
White people don't season their foods.
Okay. Congratulations, you've gotten the fucking wine nerd out of me now. My wine autism is coming for you now, Midget.
Is that right? You
The thing-
season your wine?
You don't season the wine. The thing is, with wine and food, there are various bits of the taste. The thing is, if you over-season or overdo it, you lose the secondary subtlety.
No, come on, dude.
The
You
interactions.
can't be so insensitive.
I'm not a 24-year-old seasoner.
Seasoner. They consume 50% of the seasoning, despite being 13% of the population. Blood pressure, absolutely astronomical.
Salt.
Yeah.
Drinks Tabasco neat. Doesn't feel a thing. Spring, summer, fall, and winter mean nothing, as they don't go on food. Seasons. High use of spices swells the lips. Jogs to the spice aisle to fill pockets with seasoning. Doesn't pay. Spends all the BBT on seasoning. Goes hungry because forgot to purchase food. Father left by seasoning. Never came back. That's funny.
Another trend from them.
You gotta wash your meats too, boys.
Okay.
Don't forget to wash
I've
your
heard
meats.
of a method with chicken where you rinse the slime off the chicken.
No,
It's
bro, you
one way
gotta
from
wash
preparing
your
it.
meats.
No.
You gotta wash it, bro, with the name brand soap. Otherwise, it don't taste right. That's my shit right there. Talk about Lowry's, man. Pass the seasoning. But here, you can clean your
You know
chicken
what?
and season it.
You,
You gotta
you
wash
know what,
your
Midget?
shit, wash your
I'm
meat.
calling in the seasoning police.
Hey, how come you ain't getting up off of him? I can't. I can't taste my food. I can't taste my food. Hey, he can't taste his food. Get up off of him. Let me season that shit. Seasoning police could be here, she thought. I've never posted this dish before. There could be seasoning police in my comments. She wafted the scent of the dish into her nostrils. I hate seasoning police.
Yeah.
I like Zoe. She's cute.
Yeah.
That was a funny video.
Well, yeah.
I wish I could find the picture of her, like, with her one hand on her waist and the other hand pointing to her head. That's so cheeky.
Yeah.
Seasoning police. What do y'all mean? Who's the seasoning police? Literally the people harassing her about
Jay?
seasoning. I'm sorry if they happen to be black, but like...
Jay, Southern food can be tasty, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to reveal a secret. Some of them overdo the seasoning by a fucking mile.
You can't overdo seasoning.
Yes, you can, quite easily.
Flat.
If you can't taste
flat.
the meat's natural flavor, you've overdone the seasoning.
What if the meat's natural flavor is rancid?
Well, yeah. At that point, you've got to
You're
that's
probably eating curry.
Yeah, that's why those areas have such high spicy foods. It was to hide the fucking taste of rotting meat. Why do you think salt was so coveted in the West before we had more advanced storage methods?
Why don't you season your food?
I do, reasonably.
Why don't white people
You know what?
season their food?
I think we need to put in common sense seasoning control. Nationwide.
That's racist, though, because it disproportionately affects black and low-income families.
Yes. Yes, quiet part out loud. Southern food, it over-seasons a lot. The places that do it right strike the balance. The seasoning enhances the flavor of the meat.
Pass the seasoning, bro.
Well, moving on to something hilarious.
Well, this is, I thought we'd catch our audience up if they weren't familiar with maybe the Reddit thing that's going on. So you all know our love for Reddit, don't you, audience? Yes, indeed. I can hear them. I can hear them roaring. I can hear them roaring in response. We have their rapt attention.
We love Reddit. We love Reddit here at the porch just as much as we love an incurable STI.
That's right. You're here with us forever.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought this would be a little bit fun just to catch people up because things are happening while we're not on the porch, and sometimes they happen.
Yep.
So the latest happening on our favorite webpage Reddit is that, the CEO decided to charge money for the use of the website to third-party apps.
Yeah. Reasonable position because, Reddit probably isn't making much money.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable, you would think, to try and turn a profit in current year plus 8.
Yep. I mean, they overdid it to an extent, but Reddit's also, Reddit.
Yeah, they're known to overdo things, don't they?
Whereas most, what is it, like $5,000 a month and pretty much unlimited access?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how hard could it be? Apollo, which the story is really about, has to pay
millions.
$20 million a year?
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, if he's a big app, he could take subscriptions. Like, he could charge users subscriptions to use Apollo Plus, right? And have added...
How many users of Apollo?
It's almost like the market is creating an opportunity here that a bunch of irresponsible man-babies and trannies are unwilling to take up, but instead are throwing a hissy fit and instead demanding that this corporation... whose duty is to make money
for its stockholders,
they're taking what they think is theirs and controlling it and realizing real fast that it doesn't belong to them, that they themselves are the product.
Yeah, you are the if a product is free, you're the product.
So now Reddit is trying to change. So the product is going to be accessibility to APIs. They're going to sell that product to API developers.
Yep.
And they're going to charge, they're going to charge money for it. They're going to say, hey, if you want to use our platform with a third-party browser, you're going to pay us.
Yeah.
Hey, you use our site, right?
Yeah.
You use our site, you use our infrastructure, you employ bots, on our page, you take up our bandwidth with your bots, your millions of accounts.
Yeah.
You're going to pay us.
Yeah.
And these bot farms are like, oh, this is suddenly going to cost us money to, form narratives on the internet to force consensus.
Wait, quick question.
Among
these
normies.
bot farms, they weren't being paid to do this before?
Oh, they do it for free, motherfucker. Jannies do it for free.
I know why they don't want to be charged for it, because what could happen is people they don't politically like might buy the service from them.
Oh, beyond that, they'll have to show it on their books what they're spending their money on.
Yeah.
Because fucking Reddit pays taxes on their income.
Yep.
So they're going to report to their public shareholders where their income is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And if it comes from a bunch of NGOs that are using bots on the platform, kind of blows the narrative out of the water,
Rut-row raggy.
Old man, it's old man Silverstein behind the mask, right?
Good old Sheckelberg.
Sheckelberg.
Yeah, it's fucking
behind the mask.
Yeah,
Oh, and I'd have gotten away with it too if it weren't for your pesky earnings reports, right? Come on, dude.
You're just digging the hole deeper. They are essentially threatening moderators of subreddits that are blacking out indefinitely, that they will be removed.
God, imagine that. You can't sit and fucking claim a domain for yourself just because you're a free Janny.
Yeah. Hold on.
Just because you're a free fucking Janny.
Reddit cited its moderator code of conduct, and it said that it has a duty to keep communities relied upon by thousands or even millions of users. You fucking signed the agreement, you idiot moderator. It said you will keep these communities active.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So a proper response to this would have been basically a walkout or a resignation from the positions, leading to Reddit losing moderation.
Right, and then they have to take the time to find moderators. But
these fucks...
It's perfectly within their purview, isn't it, Seawall? It's perfectly within the purview of Reddit, and they say, and they will act upon it, that moderators who refuse to comply will be replaced by other moderation staff. Yeah,
but again, they say, oh, it's all unanimous. Okay, guys, also the whole blackout for 2 days thing, that ain't going to do shit. That's a blip on the radar of the.
It is going to inconvenience a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Google displays Reddit results.
Yeah.
When you ask things, when you search for things, you get Reddit.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, if it's not a political or historic topic, unless it's like really specialized,
if it's gaming or something specialized,
or some specialized
history, fucking Reddit thread.
Yeah, and it's usually
in a lot of cases. I don't know about you assholes. I don't have a Reddit. So I can't even browse those fucking threads in a lot of cases. So I can't even get the answer I'm fucking looking for because it's the top 5 results on Google.
Yeah.
And I can't fucking browse the Reddit because I don't have enough karma or some stupid bullshit.
I have a Reddit account. It's literally lurking. I think it's got like 3 posts in like 2 indie game subreddits that I did shit years ago with.
Yeah. Porn games, right? I know.
No, I think it was Stationeers.
Anyway,
No, KSP. KSP. Kerbal Space Program. That was my jam back in the day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fun game.
KSP is the shit.
Yeah, but here we go. Reddit avatar. What they looking like right now?
A legit, real, in the wild Reddit avatar.
Yeah. So, then, oh no! They're attacking themselves.
No, this is the Janny Caesar.
Yeah.
Right? The assassination of Jannies.
Yep.
And Polejack is right there, front and center. A2 Polejack?
Yep.
Yes, Janny. We are eliminating you.
Yep.
Fuck Jannies. Look at all the soy boys. They're all pissed off. Like, oh, you're assassinating our tranny Jannies.
Yep.
That's right. We's coming for yo empire. We killing yo tranny Jannies in this bitch. Eliminating them from the boards, that is. Not literally murdering. No, not like actual Caesar.
Nope. Just doing real stupid shit and fucking around and finding out. Because the thing is, you think Reddit...
stupid shit on the internet. Yeah. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, because the thing is, the smart move for Reddit would have been literally, hey...
Isn't it fun, John? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Quite a bit, yes.
Indeed.
Well, also the smart move would have required them to accept allow for a time allow people they don't like on the platform. They should have said, you know what, fine, Reddit, we are now doing a First Amendment standard on all subreddits and no longer moderating anything that isn't clearly criminal behavior.
So I can post niggers over and over.
Oh, whoa, damn it, Mijjt.
Oh, well, I thought we were First Amendment for a second.
No, I'm talking about a hypothetical, and then basically bring Reddit to its fucking knees because,
That's
ESG.
a total hypothetical.
Yeah.
There's no universe in which I'd actually be permitted to say it.
Yeah. Damn it, Mijjt. Moving on. Moving on.
Victim culture, crime, KKK, but for blacks. Marxists, riots, cancel culture, soy boys, terrorists, child molesters, commies, degeneracy, perverts, grooming kids, orange man bad.
I fucking hate it here.
The sons are screaming at him. Yes,
every day. Every fucking day.
You had to get away.
Another, ask Reddit.
Are you against all religions or just Christianity? Like most other Redditors, I speak for them. I hate Christianity. Judaism and Islam I give a pass to. Why do you hate it so much, yet give passes to Judaism and Islam? Says the reasonable reply with one updoot. And here comes the OP with this dick in his mouth, gargling. Because they stand in the way of progress. You guys, progress. You guys. It's the utmost value in human endeavor, right? Progress, you guys. And Christians stand in the way of it. Abortion, that's progress. Trans rights is progress. State control over education is progress.
Well, yeah, of course.
How about
Okay.
no state in education, period. No state in medical. State just kind of exists in the corner as a tiny thing that deals with people trying to invade from the outside, and that's about it. We'll handle everything else.
As for the other two listed, I get the sense they are giving a pass by those in charge. So I follow along. Sorry if I spoiled it, lads, but here's our payoff, right, to that.
Well,
that
also
reference I made earlier.
aren't there some Muslim-dominated areas of the U.S. like those places in Michigan banning LGBT in its entirety?
No display of pride paraphernalia anywhere in public places, if you please.
Interesting how these guys are probably far fucking worse for you than the Christians. Because at least with the Christians, you could make a deal with them where you two go your separate ways.
I saw a video today of a city council member that sat in opposition of that, saying, well, I've spoken to a lot of people here, and although I wouldn't characterize the people I spoke to, who are totally honorable, as this type of way, but I'll just bring it to your attention, everyone, that you are aligning yourselves with, say it with me, white supremacists on this issue.
Sorry,
And although, again, I wouldn't characterize you as such, I would say that Hitler drank water too. I would say Hitler drank water too, so you should stop drinking water.
The left doesn't left not understanding what would come around if they fuck around. Something funny that I just noticed from Jay's server. At POTUS, enough is enough. Use your executive orders and terminate the Second Amendment. We will go door to door to confiscate if necessary. Motherfucker, you're getting shot if you try that. You will. You will be living.
Be calling for violence. No, we're not calling for violence in it.
Yeah, no.
You
you try to kick somebody's door down to take his gun away through a highly illegal method? Yeah, congratulations, you've activated the Second Amendment reset button.
Because
fun fact.
Let's all condemn the violence that would be a gun. Yeah. Let's all condemn it.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't participate in violence by coming from people's guns.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be a violent action.
Yeah, if you don't come from their guns, they won't use them on you.
Right.
Isn't
No,
that
that would be
magical?
a violent action.
Yeah.
Guns would be violent.
And
We
hey,
don't-
if you
we
get a
don't
gun
condone
yourself,
violence.
if somebody tries to bring violence against you, you have the great equalizer that you can use to defend yourself. And if enough
And-
people do that, there will either be no more criminals because they'll all be dead, or criminals will be so scared of committing crime that they won't try it. Isn't that amazing how fear works?
That's racist.
I didn't
That's
resonate a race.
That's literally
Wait,
racist.
are you
because
saying
that
certain
would-
races are more likely to be criminals?
Yes, I'm saying, like the Johns Hopkins University, I am indeed saying and acknowledging publicly that it would affect certain demographics disproportionately
Yeah.
to their proportion of society today. Yes, that is acknowledged fact. We are Johns Hopkins University sourced opinions here. We are not, being unreasonable.
So, gentlemen, a new hero has arisen from the Chans.
Yes, that's right, dude. He's an hero to us all.
And hero to us all.
The Target down the street from me gave me a trespass warning yesterday. For the past week, I'd load up carts with the tranny shit and bring it to the cashier to scan everything. Since I asked for the protection plan, I can't see the whole thing. I have to pull it up myself. Motherfucking seawall, I can't see it. Hold on, let me bring it up.
I unzoomed, unenhanced.
Thank you. It might be harder to read as a result, but let me pull it up
I could read it
myself.
because I can see it pretty well on my end.
Alright, for the past week, I'd load up carts with the tranny shit. It would take about 30 to 45 minutes to scan everything since I asked for the protection plan. They had to go back and type in these little numbers. Ring up anywhere from $1,800 to $2,500. So I left my cash at home. I would ask those around me if they had a spare $2,500 I could use. Laughs and amusement from most. I went in this morning, a guard stopped me at the door and gave me a pink paper saying I can't come in anymore. A cart guy fist bumped me on the way out. I can't go back to that Target for the next 24 months, but I'm about to go one 12 minutes away and repeat. It's legal.
And then all the cards clapped. I don't know, dude. I don't believe it.
Proof. And he denounced the Talmud repeatedly. Oh, dude, I have references to the archived thread. It was a good thread. He posted all kinds of proof
Receipts.
that he
Fair
was
enough.
doing this. Yeah, dude. And he denounced the Talmud repeatedly,
Yep.
which is indeed unfathomably based.
Let me zoom and enhance that last little bit right there.
Feels good, man.
And this gentleman,
He did
after
post
everything
proof.
goes crazy, he shall deal with Reddit personally for us.
We don't condone violence. Don't come to collect guns.
Nope.
Don't try and take such a violent action as to disband or something. The Second Amendment, that would be a violent thing to do. I would discourage it strongly.
Now, on to something else that's mildly hilarious. Oh, hold on.
Oh yeah, Apple and Disney. Guys, weren't we talking about Apple and Disney like 6 months ago when we did our last show?
Yep.
John, do you remember this reference?
Yeah, we're
I
talking about
don't
Disney's
remember,
falling apart
no.
at the seams.
Oh my God, you're just along for the ride. You're just hanging in there.
I
Bro.
remember
a long
various
time ago.
I
Lots
remember-
happened.
I remember various times
Like-
we were talking about how Disney's falling apart at the seams and probably won't be doing so hot as time goes on.
Weren't we talking about them selling off IPs and stuff?
Oh yeah, that to
and
generate.
there have been a
cash
lot of
flow.
rumors that we're not covering tonight that involve that.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
that
would, you know,
Lucasfilm, that they might be looking for a buyer for Lucasfilm.
Lucasfilm for maybe Pixar, maybe combining Pixar with Disney animation.
With Marvel starting to lose money, that there might be looking for a buyer for Marvel.
That their CFO got kicked out, over some
Yeah.
weird shit, and
There's
like,
rumors that Disney might try to sell to Apple, which is just a poison pill that would kill Apple in the end.
Right, we talked about that specifically last time.
Yeah.
we met on this porch.
Yeah.
So let's get a look at what they're looking into. Making a vision a reality, of course. They're going to make a $4,000 product that goes over your head and looks ridiculous.
Yeah, the proper term for it is what's known as augmented reality.
Indeed.
Yeah, the technology
it's
is
like a computer on your face.
There are some technologies. Okay, there is some mature technology that is used for currently. There are headsets that drone operators have that allow them to still see out, but also give them the vision of the drone. These headsets are also used by surgeons that are both training and in operation, giving them a better idea of what's going on inside the person they're cutting into, as well as other information on basically a whole heads-up display. It has its place, but it's currently niche and industrial.
Indeed. It has its applications.
Yeah. There have been attempts like
but
Google
we're making
Glass.
it available to the consumer.
Oh, would you
but
like to
what kind of consumer specifically, Seawall? Oh, not us.
Nope.
Not for us. Nope. No, see, it's not for the boys on the porch.
You said these are speakers. Why aren't you using
just
bone
above
conduction?
the ear.
Yeah. Why aren't you using bone conduction?
Oh, you mean implants, bro?
No. Bone conduction is a current technology. You put a pad in front of your ear and it sends it in through the bone.
Nice.
Yeah, I use that headset all the time personally. My dad loves them too. They're not.
Are you still aware of your surroundings?
Oh yeah, you have much easier hearing with it because nothing's blocking your ears. If it's loud enough, you might lose a little bit of hearing, but
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is supposed to be state of the art.
Yeah.
But it's clearly not for us.
Well, also, again, look, this is literally just that industrial technology cheapened down and given an Apple form factor. Because that does not look
the form factor is what you're paying for, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I can already tell.
Obviously.
Yeah, I can already tell this is going to be subpar. This is going to basically be Google Glass, but stupider.
Isn't that what iPhones are? Or Android phones, but stupider?
Well, that's what the modern iPhone is. The early iPhones were somewhat innovative, but
true.
again...
They were innovative.
Yeah. Well, again, they took ideas from other people that had attempted it before, like the touchscreen Blackberries.
And they put that
4 or 5 years.
veneer on it. They put that veneer on it, and they put that price tag on it, and they marketed to people who look like this.
Yeah.
With sloped foreheads.
Yeah.
Rearward sloping foreheads.
So,
Oh, is this CNN, the mainstream media?
Yeah, and this is from May, so this was before Memorial Day weekend, if I remember right, or around that time. Because the thing is, apparently Disney had record low people coming to the park on Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, their numbers are
bad.
Pretty rough recently.
Not only that, but Disney used to have an over 70% approval rating from the public. It's below a third now. That's bad.
Jesus, man.
They lost that.
Fucking trust.
Yeah, they lost it inside of 4-month period. It was just you just see the graph, 70, just dives like a fucking plane, like a fucking United Airlines flight, just dropped. So.
It's too bad.
Yeah, this one's kind of fun because they're trying. I kind of skimmed through this article earlier. They're trying to make it look like it's bad for Florida too. But here's the thing: Disney money-wise is struggling so much that those 2,000 jobs, those 2,000 high-paying jobs from California to Florida, those jobs are likely getting laid off in a couple months' time to save money.
Well, I hope I'm trying to change my audio a little bit and hopefully it eliminates some of the background noise. But anyway, with regards to Disney's suffering in the state of Florida, they've been playing that angle for a long time. They're saying oh, we're the chief employer in the state of Florida. We're one of the chief generations of tax revenue in the state of Florida. All this, that, and the third. They're trying to make themselves the most important
Universal Studios is surpassing you. The
Universal
Park nearby.
Lunch, bro.
Yeah, Universal Studios is doing great. What was it? I believe DeSantis has, because he's lightened various regulations, it's led to other businesses coming to Florida, combined with businesses escaping New York and California, have been setting up in Florida because it's a friendlier state business-wise.
Nice.
Yeah, basically Florida's like a shittier version of Texas when it comes to business right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck you.
We're in the number one
Texas
business
is
state.
like shitty Florida.
No,
Because
Texas,
you still have a lot of liberals.
We keep them contained, unlike you.
That's funny. No, ours do get around. Hey, is my audio better now?
It's okay. It's
according
fine.
to my levels, it really seems like... Can you still hear my voice?
We can hear you just fine.
Okay, but what about the background noise? It's reduced, right? Damn, I bet y'all heard my cat crying, shouting. He was
Yeah, for sure.
Yow, goddamn. I don't know how to, placate him while I'm on the air with you guys, because admittedly, it's pretty annoying for all of us here in the house for me to be sitting here in the living room chatting shit with you guys on the air. But hey, you know what? That's why I do it, isn't it? I love you all to a degree.
But no, also not only that, but if you've look, I follow. It's not Legal Vices that's covering this. Legal Mindset. He's one of the law tubers. And the funny thing is, he actually specializes in the law that Disney is trying to fuck with, which is the special district law of Florida.
Yeah,
he's one of the specialists.
His entire thing.
Yeah, he did that for like 10 years. He's since changed, but he did that for 10 years. And the thing is, he's like, no. The Florida government regrets giving Disney so much because the thing is, the original plan was Walt Disney was going to make the ultimate company town.
A city.
Yeah, a city, because Walt Disney was kind of something of an amateur civic planner.
He was of the future.
Yeah, exactly, but then when he died, they kept the park, kept the benefits, but never built the city.
Let's just make a fucking theme park.
Well, no, the theme park was always the initial.
Let's just make a theme park and soil his legacy because he didn't like Jews.
Well, it actually turns out he didn't care either way, because the thing is, he actually hired many prominent Jews in his business. Even when, you gotta make
allies, you gotta make friends.
Well, yeah. Not only that, but he also hired blacks when that could have gotten him in legal trouble. He didn't care. He hated fascists and communists. He hated both of them.
That's right.
He hated both of them.
And that's why we have to soil his legacy.
Yeah, and another part of his legacy they've soiled, unfortunately, is they said, he was anti-union. No. He was very pro-union. All of his cartoonists were part of the cartoonist union. He interceded because they asked him to stop the fucking communists from taking over their union. They're like, no, we're fine with the union as is. Yeah.
If you shoot 100 communists, you hit 80. You hit 80. Juice.
80 juice? 80 juice. 80 juice.
80 juice.
Yeah.
Shoot 100 communists, you hit 80.
But yeah, it basically it's like, 2,000 high-paying jobs in California. Those jobs are going away in the next year. They're going to be laid off, all of them. So California's losing those jobs too. Not only that, but those 2,000 people that were refusing to move to Florida. So they were going to be fired anyway. So.
Yeah. So there's a bit of truth on both sides.
Yeah.
A spokesperson for DeSantis said Thursday it was, quote, unsurprising, end quote, that Disney would cancel the project, quote, given the company's financial straits, failing market cap, and declining stock price.
Yeah.
Oh, get them.
Yeah. Also, Disney was planning to invest like $10 billion for you. So is that like the...
Yeah, where are they getting the money exactly?
Well, hold on.
Where's
so is that kind of like how Amber Heard pledged millions to charity?
That's right. She pledged it.
But
she totally pledged it.
Yeah.
No, she pledged it.
Until they actually pony up the fucking money and actually start using it, it doesn't mean shit. Or they
Where's
sign
the money
agreements.
coming from? Where's
loans,
it
presumably.
Not from the state of Florida's pension funds. I'll tell you that.
Not coming from them.
Certainly not, because we don't invest in ESG.
Nope.
ESG marketing.
Yeah.
In streaming business, Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN remains unprofitable. And operating income from its cable and broadcast networks fell 35%.
Yeah.
On lower ad revenue.
Then
that's across the board. Ad revenue is down.
And then here is the they're kind of burying it a little bit, because the thing is actually a lot worse. Disney's traditional safety net, the reliably profitable parks division, is still a bright spot from a financial perspective. But fans are deeply unhappy with recent pricing and logistics changes, saying they feel nickel and dimed. Disney recently lowered park prices in response to customer outrage, but they didn't expect to be. It doesn't exactly help its profit crunch problems. Around the same time, Disney was shutting down the Galactic Star Cruise.
Yep, in September.
Yep.
After just over a year
Yep.
Their premier fucking experience is shutting down.
Yeah, it's dead.
For lack of engagement.
Yep, it's down.
God damn, it's almost like the Porch was right.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, the Lake Nona. They used the Lake Nona thing, saying, "Oh, DeSantis is being mean," to hide the fact of everything else. They're just using it to bury the lead.
DeSantis is being mean to Disney. Well, I thought Lake Nona and the Reedy Creek
and the
were
thing
not
is also,
Disney. I thought
also
they were legally
Lake Nona.
distinct.
Lake Nona is actually separate. Not only that, Disney isn't the only one investing in that. So Disney pulling out of it just means a slot opens up for other companies that have been in a bidding war for years to get into Lake Nona. These jobs are going to be replaced because everyone else wants to go. So sure, you lose Disney, big fucking whoop. Someone else will take their place. It's not like the land's going to remain fallow.
Yeah, and you know what? It is in their portfolio, Disney's portfolio. If they're strapped for cash, they might be able to, sell a little bit of it. Yeah. A lot of the people in the comments section, even of my local news, are like, well, why doesn't Disney just pack up and move out? Why don't they just pack up and move the whole thing? Then Florida would be fucked, wouldn't they?
No, because...
Wouldn't they be fucked?
Well, one...
You just pack up the whole thing. They take the Magic Kingdom castle, and they move it on down the road to, Texas.
Well, one, Texas ain't going to give them... Look, there is no state in the union, including California, which would give Disney the deal they have in Florida.
Isn't that funny? Because they don't have that deal anymore.
Yeah, that deal is gone. There is no one's going to give them anywhere near that level of deal. And the thing is, the states that would be more favorable to them, it would be so prohibitively expensive to build there because land is so expensive, and labor laws are so horrifically.
They'll never get.
They'll never get a better deal.
They'll never get the Walt Disney deal.
Exactly.
It came with a promise. That was to found a city of the future with mixed income communities where everyone lived together. It was self-sufficient.
Also, the advanced monorail system needing less cars to operate
advanced
around.
Monorail system that got the whole neighborhood together.
Yeah.
Okay, that everyone would have gardens.
Yeah.
And be self-sufficient, and the community would look after itself, police itself, have its own firefighters.
Yeah.
Right? It was supposed to be a city of the future made by a visionary.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was usurped.
Yeah.
They took the deal that the state of Florida was willing to do with them with the promise of using this otherwise unusable land at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
And
which could have eventually been developed, but a lot of it, all at once. And they said, we're going to make a city of the future here.
Yeah, the park was the first thing. The park was meant to be part of the entertainment of the city. It was the entertainment district, basically.
Well, after that, Walt died.
Yeah, Walt died.
And his legacy was usurped.
Yeah.
You need a PhD to plan Disney World Vacation anymore. They made it so complicated.
Yeah.
Disney Unlimited Travel, actually, Dreams Unlimited Travel is actually one of the chief... wdwinfo.com. Yeah, he's one of the chief booking agencies of Disney Vacation. Dreams Unlimited. He's one of their biggest fucking booking agents. And he's saying, look, I can't get these people, I can't explain these vacation packages to my own fucking clients. And then the price is overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Not only that, but the Disney timeshare stuff is also coming back to bite them. There might be criminal charges for how they handled the transition from traditional timeshare to the modern points-based system, which every other hotel and timeshare company has pretty much dealt with without too much trouble. They, just said, okay, we're changing it. This is what we're doing. If you want to back out of it, we'll give you your money back kind of thing. And basically, a few of them have gotten clapped for scam behavior, but that's some of the smaller ones that didn't do as well. But the big ones, yeah, they're fine. Like my folks used to have a timeshare thing. Now they just get a fuckload of points that they just use for occasionally going on vacation.
Well, investors seem to share these concerns.
Yeah.
Disney's stock is down more than 5% this year, while the S&P is up 2%.
Yep, Comcast up
Rivals,
by 16.
such as Comcast, owners of Universal, Universal Studios, are up 16%.
Warner Brothers Discovery up 28.
28, and that's David Zaslav, and he's ruthless, and he is not fucking. He's based.
Yeah. Also,
David
the thing
fucking
is,
Zaslav is based.
And the thing is, also the whole like, oh, Florida would be fucked if Disney left. Well, if Disney left, you don't think that, assuming obviously the castle would have to be destroyed, but that land, you don't think another major company is not going to want to go in there?
There's so many companies that would be happy. We'd even split it up,
into multiple parks. You have a water park in one area. You'd have
parks, dude. You could use that land for whatever.
Yeah, industrial.
You put fucking storage facilities up in that fucking motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, well.
Look at that shit. $4,800 to $6,000 per cabin for an immersive 2-night experience that you can't escape from.
Do you know what?
And you get to play shitty card games that, John, aren't even Pazaak. You can't even fucking play Pazaak.
Yeah, that's horrible. Like,
that shit is whack as fuck.
Yeah, you really, missed something there if you can't play Pazaak. Like,
if you can't play Pazaak, isn't that the golden opportunity?
Yeah.
Right.
To fist bump the nerds in your audience, dude. They don't want the nerds in the audience.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Do you know what Disney could have done? You know how Disney has its own cruise division? Cruise ships.
Oh man!
They could have taken one of the ones that's still in construction because they're still building new ones, and said, "Okay, we've got most of the internals done. We got most of the structural shit done. We haven't done the internals yet. Let's redesign it to be Star Wars themed and just make it a Star Wars themed cruise ship." And that would have you do the same shit as every other cruise ship, just has a veneer of Star Wars, and it would have made money. Throw in shit like we have a Pazaak tournament every. One night of the cruise.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. You got people they want to pay you for the stuff they care about, and remember, oh no, you gotta subvert expectations.
Do like for lightsaber shit, just get some VR. Just get some VR. What was it like? Some VR arcade.
That's all the ride is, bro. Is some VR shit. That's all the rides are. It's just VR shit. Yeah. You go to the parks. You do a VR thing and. You wait in line for an hour to do a VR thing for like a minute and a half, and then next thing you know, you're out of there, and you're like, oh, that was it?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I just stood in line and looked at the outside of the Millennium Falcon, but when I got into it, I pushed a few buttons to play a video game, and I didn't even get the spot that I liked, and the person who did get the spot that I liked sucked at it.
Yeah.
So now I'm frustrated.
Well,
I'm not coming back here again. This shit was expensive.
I think I have another reason why Disney's having money problems.
Look at me. I am the Little Mermaid now. That's right. He's beautiful. He's beautiful and powerful.
And valid.
And heckin' valid. Thank you.
Ariel, how would you feel if you had legs?
But I don't have legs.
Yeah, but how would you feel if you did?
I don't understand the question. I just told you I don't have legs.
Then there's this.
What is he even showing her? So you see, Ariel, Lowry's is made up of garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. That's the dry processed version of the same fresh diced onion, garlic, and red pepper that I used on the chicken. Do you understand? ...
Did you wash the chicken before you
did you wash that meat?
Oh yeah, it's that guy. It's
Absolutamente. You guys, we love our Absolutamente memes. We love to get a good Absolutamente meme in the show.
We love
Gotta get one.
Gotta have a hidden one every time.
That's right.
Yeah. Then,
man, look at that beauteous treasure of the deep. Yeah, it's like an Innsmouth. How would you like to wake up to that voice?
Oh, God. Oh.
How appealing. The one on the right, I mean. So appealing. As opposed to the one on the left, much more so.
No.
Don't you think? The one on the right is much more better than the one on the left?
No, that's horrific.
Aren't you obligated to feel that way?
No, that's horrific.
Don't you feel obligated?
Yeah, it's horrific.
You are obligated, but that doesn't mean shit.
Good point, John. Thank you.
Yeah.
You finally piped up.
About a foot between her eyes. Yeah. Yeah, Quest is right. There's about 1 foot of distance between the eyes. Like, Jesus, could they have not found a more attractive actress?
I wish I had saved the meme, but there was a funny meme that showed a Google map like from one eye to the other over the bridge of her nose. That was like 492 miles. But like, I'm not in that bad taste. It just exists.
Yeah. So well, let's get.
How
back.
unfortunate for us though. Like, this is what they're doing to your perhaps beloved classics. This was indeed a beloved classic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's what it's been reduced to. Are we back to our normal background then?
Yep, normal background. Just kind of finishing up the show. Unless there's something else. Crippy, you want to play us out?
Yeah, dude. I think we've been at this long enough. 2 fucking hours. Long goddamn time.
Definitely. So, if you guys enjoyed, for whatever reason, anything you heard tonight, make sure you check out our description down below where we have all of our links to all of our stuff. And yep, I'm actually confirming it. It's there right now. All the links are to all of our stuff. And hopefully, we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't count on it.
Well, have a good
but
night,
it's
y'all.
been fun.
Quite.
Well, good night, y'all.
Soon.